squirrels in a 56. An investigation was carried out to monitor the population of red squirrels and grey squirrels in a 15 km squared wooded area. The average number of breeding pairs for each species was recorded between September 2010 and June 2012. You've got your results in a graph. Really the only thing that is making this higher is the fact that we've got our red and grey next to each other, and we've got our average number of breeding pairs of squirrels per kilometre going up the side. Okay. Use values from the graph to describe the changes in the average number of breeding pairs of grey squirrels from March 2011 to March 2012. Okay, so I'm just looking at the grey, and I'm only looking from March 2011 to March 2012. So I'm looking from here to here, and I'm only looking at these data points. So you treat it exactly like it was a line graph when you're asking for relationships. So you know that if this was a line graph, you would have to give this point here, and then say it increased to here, and then say it decreased to there. So you've got 3 points you want to put in, and you just write it as a straight description. So we've got 0.2 breeding pairs. Breeding pairs per kilometre squared in March 2011, and then it increases to what we got 1.6 in June, and then decreases to 0.4 by March 2012. Okay, treat it exactly like it's a line graph. Calculate the total number of breeding pairs of red squirrels in the wooded area in September 2011. Okay, so I'm now looking at September 2011, and I'm looking at the reds, so I'm looking here, and I have 2.2 per kilometre squared, and I have 15 kilometre squared. So that's all you're doing, is just doing 2.2 times 15, giving me 33 breeding pairs. Okay. Expressed as the simplest whole number ratio, the number of grey squirrels to red in June 2012. So I'm to June 2012, so I'm looking at the last set of data. I think the only thing that's sneaky about this is they're asking for grey to red, and the data has red and then grey. So just be really careful that you've put the right ones round the right way. So we've got here, our greys are 0.6, and our reds are at 2.4. Okay, so that's a 1 to 4. So just being really careful that you have put the right sets of data in, and then I don't think it's too bad. Right, I've had to kind of go across the way for this one. Pine martens live in wooded areas and prey on squirrels. Population of pine martens, red squirrels and grey squirrels were estimated in 2 other wooded areas using automatic cameras. These cameras are triggered by the movement of passing animals. Results are shown. Okay. Suggest why the method used to estimate the number of pine martens and squirrels may lead to inaccurate results. Now, you go and look at the mark scheme on this one, there's a lot of potential answers. They're really looking for any reasonable reason why it might not work. And really, the most obvious one, I think, is that they don't all walk in front of the camera. Okay, so you're not sampling ones that don't walk in front of the camera. That don't trigger the camera because they don't walk in front of it. Or you could have, and again, quite commonly, same individual triggering multiple times. Like if it just paces back and forward, basically. And you might just not have enough cameras around about. They might not be in the right places. I mean, anything. You could also have that they don't function the way they're supposed to. They're not triggering every time they should. They're looking just for you to come up with anything that might be a dodgy answer. Okay. Use evidence from the table which could be used to support the following statements. Pine martens are more successful predators of grey than of red. Okay. Right. Well, your evidence is really in area 1 here. I have 45 pine martens, so more pine martens, and where there's more pine martens, I have a lot less grey than red. And that's my evidence set. Okay, in area 1, with more pine martens, there is a lot less grey squirrels than red squirrels. Okay. It then says, give evidence that would support grey squirrels are more successful for food than red. That's going to come in area 2, because in area 2, when I don't have a lot of predators or predation by pine martens, I have a much higher number of greys and less of my reds. So my greys must be doing better in terms of feeding. And there's your evidence set. So this is from 1 and this is from 2 basically. And you just have to state what's going on. Grey squirrels have spread rapidly and eliminated native reds. State the term used to describe grey squirrels in the UK as a result of this. This means that they are invasive. And that's the term you're looking for. That's the question.